Welcome to the Sunway Test 9th Nurturing Business Champions 2022 competition. Very good morning to Mr. Teo, our Executive Director of Sunway College, our distinguished panel of judges. My name is Jack and I will be your host today. So since the inception of MBC competition in 2016, a total of 555 teams of 2,692 students have actually participated in this competition. And the success of this competition is made possible by the support of the Big Five accounting firms and our very own Sunway iLabs ventures. So it is my privilege now to introduce to you our esteemed panel of judges. So from BDO, we have Miss Bonnie Tam. She is the head of people and support. Okay. From Deloitte, we have Miss Miss Tin Siu Chi, which is a tax partner. All right, and from EY, Mr. Chua Lee Keng, people partner for EY Consulting Malaysia. From KPMG, Ms. Monzi Siu, she's the Executive Director, People, Performance and Culture. And from PwC, we have Mr. Desmond Goh, a tax partner. Okay, and from our Sunway, Dr. Melissa Fu, she's the head of Sunway iLabs Ventures. So welcome to all of you. Okay. I would like to now invite Mr. Teo, our Executive Director of Sunway College, to say a few words before we begin the competition.
Thank you, Jack. Can you hear me, right?
Yes, yes.
Right. So I think Jack has basically summarized. Yeah, this is the 9th. I think the NBC. I think the first thing, most important thing I need to do is basically thanks all of you who are basically here this morning, yeah, to support this event. And it's very clear, if without your support there'll be no 9 NBC anyway. So again, just want to repeat again, I think what Jack has really highlighted or basically mentioned. So Bonnie from the BDO side, Ms. Tin from the Deloitte, and then Mr. Chua from EY, and again, familiar. Monzi, I think you've been with us since probably from the day one, including Bonnie. Yeah, so Monzi from KPMG and Desmond from PwC, and obviously our own iLab, Dr. Melissa. Yeah. So I think in terms of the this MBC is like, it is quite clear that, what Sunway Test CAE wanted to do is to really kind of like ensure the graduates are not just kind of like good in just paper, passing the exam smoothly. I think that's one thing that is given, when they come to Sunway to do the professional program. Basically, I think the result, it should be given that they should work hard, they should study hard, and they should do well, and progressing on smoothly, from the whether it's ACCFIA, the CFAP, towards the ACCA and ICW professional qualification. Yeah. So this basically is to expose them, yeah, during their so-called their study with us, during the 3 years to 5 years with us. So it's important that they go through this. But we obviously structured it, at a very early stage, so that they are basically being exposed to, to all this at the very early stage. And then throughout, I think important thing, we also have built in a lot of the additional skill set, yeah, that we need to equip them, so that when they then join later on, yeah, they have the necessary skill sets, yeah, or basically a job ready. I think that's very important. So the feature of the MBC is like, they need to come out with the so-called business plan. They will need to kind of like present themselves. So it means that effectively each and every one of them, there's no escape. They will have to, they have to really kind of like able to come up outside, stand in front of the people, and then basically able to present themselves. Yeah. And I think also important thing on our side is like, we also want them to, to move forward and also involve more in terms of all these additional skill set that we want them to have, especially to join the competitions, especially organized by the big five firms. So effectively, from the NBC, we will have the kind of like students that we were able to then kind of like encourage them, get them to participate, in all these competition. Hopefully, we do well in most of the competition, and so far I think it's evidence with all these that we have built in. So when we join, when they join the competition, hosted by Yong, Sunway is always kind of like, we want to be the champion, So I think that is important. So I think, for the FINE team, I think they have basically gone, this far. And I think all of them are basically, they're champions anyway. So they've done very well, The only thing I think, because of the, the pandemic, I think the entire, the MBC is actually conducted through online right now. There is no physical. I think this is the second time I think we did it online. Hopefully, 2022 onwards, we will bring back the physical, the so-called, the initial selection, and also the so-called competition that getting to the finals and all that. So we will bring them back. I think it's important to have the face-to-face interaction. Rather than everything is basically done online. So I think we just want to move on with this competition, and I think I'll hand it back to Jack. And for all of you who basically been supporting us, thank you again. And probably I'll be back again later. I will join you all back again later. But hard work starts from now. So thank you. And for the FINE team, congratulations. And I'll see you in the campus. Over to you, Jack.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Teo. Before we begin the competition, I would like to take you all through what our finalists actually have gone through to be here with us today. So the finalists joined us between January and August 2021, and they are our first year students post SPM. They are our ACCA, FIA, and ICW CFAP program students. They were mentored by their lecturers to apply what they have learned from ACCA and ICW syllabus to develop a proposal to market a new product or service that will achieve the targets that they have set. For the semi-finals, before they came to the top 5, 16 teams competed between 14 and 17th of March in the semi-finals, judged by professional judges from Take Charge Asia, and 5 teams emerged through a rigorous process of judging. So the business proposal that they are going to be presenting will be judged based on 5 criteria: business idea, innovation, feasibility, financials, and presentation skills. Each team has a total of 10 minutes for the presentation, after which another 10 minutes for a question and answers session with the judges. Extension of time will not be permitted. So the judging process will commence now, and I invite all of you to go back to your breakout rooms, and I will bring you into the judges' room in a while. Okay, so I'll see you in a while. Thank you. So you can move back to your respective breakout rooms now. So I'll open the room now. Okay. Okay, now we are in the judges' room. So I will start to bring them into the rooms. Everybody ready? Okay, so I will bring them in. If you feel that you do not want to switch on your cameras, it's fine. All right, I will be the pivot for them as well. All right, so but of course, if you want to switch on the camera, that's also okay. All right, so okay, I will bring them in now. We will have the first team. They are called Snooze. Would you all like to test out your mics as well before we start?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So,
Morning.
and with that, would you like to share your screen? If you're ready, I will start the time. Are you ready now?
Yeah, we are ready.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, start.
A very good morning to our esteemed panel of judges and Mr. Jack. I'm Jason.
I'm Jolene.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Vingan.
I'm Olivia.
And together we are Snooze. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start our presentation, let me paint you a picture. It's 10 p.m. at night, you wind down and you prepare to go to sleep. As you lay down on your bed, you find yourself unable to fall asleep. You roll around for hours, you try reading something to tire you out, and you try anything and everything to help yourself fall asleep. But it doesn't work. Finally, hours later at 1 a.m., you finally drift off. It's the next day, 8 a.m. Your alarm jolts you awake. Even after 7 hours of sleep, you find that you're still sleepy. You feel groggy and unrefreshed. Throughout the day, the feeling of grogginess never leaves, and you end up having to drink an unreasonable amount of coffee just to keep yourself going. Judges and Mr. Jack, please raise your hands if you've experienced this before. Yeah, I know I have. If you did, you may be experiencing what we call a bad quality of sleep. And don't worry, you're not the only one. Countless other people, including ourselves, suffer from the same issue. According to the 2018 National Sleep Survey, 9 out of 10 Malaysians have trouble sleeping in one way or another. Now, this already sounds pretty bad, right? But what's worse is the long-term effects. Having bad quality sleep could increase the risk of things like heart disease, obesity, high blood pressure, and even cancer. So how should we tackle this issue? Worry not, as our team has come up with a solution to overcome these problems. Allow me to introduce you to our product called Snooze. With a sleek and stylish look, Snooze are earbuds designed to vastly improve your sleeping experience. As you can see, this is the product that we came up with. But you may be asking, what makes it so different from regular earbuds? I'll pass it on to Jolene to tell you more about it.
Hi, I'm Jolene. As mentioned by Jason, what makes Snooze earbuds so special as compared to your everyday wireless earbuds? We plan to make Snooze your best sleeping companion by providing you with these 3 key values, which are helping you fall asleep faster, getting maximum rest out of your sleep, and helping you to wake up naturally. Now, allow us to introduce the unique features of Snooze. An ergonomic design to ensure sleep with maximum comfort, active noise cancellation technology to block out environmental noises, a binaural beats function. You may be asking, what are binaural beats? Well, it is a form of sound therapy with different tones playing in each ear at the same time. The 2 tones align with your brain waves and your brain produces its own frequency, which can influence your sleep. With this in mind, there are different frequencies that can help you achieve your goal. The higher the frequency, the more alert you earbuds, which can help facilitate a better sleeping experience for you. All of this will be controlled through an app where you can set the time you plan to sleep as well as the time you plan to wake up. After that, you can connect and put on your earphones. This is where our binaural beats function will change into frequencies from 4 Hz up to 8 Hz to help you relax and fall asleep faster. Then our earbuds will slowly transition to low frequencies that help you achieve a deep stage of sleep. Depending on the time you have set to wake up, our earbuds will slowly increase their frequencies play and bring you back to a lighter stage of sleep where our smart alarm will wake you up on time. Let's now move on to the packaging. In the box, you will receive the earbuds with a charging case and charging cable. We also provide a quick start guide and warranty card offering a 1-year warranty. Lastly, we provide different size silicone ear tips for a secure fitting. Now, let me pass it on to our next presenter to tell you more about our target market and marketing strategy.
I'm Alicia. Now that you've learned about the unique features of Snooze, as mentioned by Jolene, you might be wondering how we are going to promote this revolutionary product of ours. We will mainly be focusing on working adults, age ranging from 30 to around 50 plus. 65% of our whole target market will consist of working adults that are from the T20 income group, with the remaining 35% on those who are from the M40 group. Based on research done by the World Sleep Association, more than half of the working adults in Malaysia suffer from constant stress and anxieties, causing most of them to face sleeping disorders or insomnia. We know just how important a good night's sleep means to the working population. Hence, Snooze is there to help put these adults into relaxation mode before they sleep and allow them to wake up refreshed so that they can be ready to take on another challenging day at work. As to how we are going to approach our target market, we will mainly be advertising on social media that are widely used amongst our target market, knowingly YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Besides that, we will be utilizing the local mass media communication too. We will be promoting our product with attention-catching advertisements through the few most popular local radio stations, such as Era FM, Hits FM, My FM, and THR Raga. We will also be holding a showcase event titled Let's Snooze Together in major shopping malls around Malaysia. Lastly, we are planning to sell it on the two major e-commerce platforms, which are Lazada and Shopee, as well as our own website. Next, I will pass on to Wing Yan to talk about the cost and the financials.
Good morning, I'm Wing Yan. Now I'll brief you on our price. So at the cost side, our cost per unit is 188 ringgit. We managed to achieve a markup up to 378% based on our cost, selling our product at a premium price of 899 ringgit, including 1 year warranty as mentioned by Jolene. However, we know it all comes down to money, so let me break down all the figures for you. Here is the breakdown of our estimated sales for the coming years. We expect to sell 6,500 units of Snooze to bring a total revenue of 6 million ringgit in the first year, growing exponentially to achieve over 71 million ringgit by the fifth year, selling off 75,000 units of Snooze. Here's the moving on to the breakdown of our costs, where in year one, we expect a total cost approximately 1.2 million ringgit, which is expected to increase as our production increase. We are also able to break even in the first year itself after selling 1,017 units of our earbuds, covering our initial costs. We estimate that our payback period will be achieved in just 2 months within the first year, due to the fact that we have marked up our price as high as possible. We ask that you to put your trust into our product, and we expect the average return on investment will be at 109% throughout these 5 years. So in order to start, we will need a total investment of only 175,000 ringgit in this prototyping stage. Lastly, let me pass it over to our next presenter, who will explain on risk and so on.
Good morning, I'm Olivia. Obviously, with any new product comes a number of risks. The first risk that we may face is the risk of unacceptance of the public. They may doubt the efficacy of the product, and we may get trust issues. To overcome this, we enhance our marketing strategies by asking feedbacks from customers, as well as sharing customer reviews on our website, which will help us to build market confidence and reputation. Next, as we are new to the market, another risk that we will face is a risk of product replication. We are going to prevent this by having our R&D to innovate new ideas, while also patenting our app, as well as protecting our computer code under copyright. Then, here comes the financial risk. You may be worrying that a new established business might be unable to meet its short-term debt obligation due to a lack of buyers or an inefficient market. Therefore, we are going to manage our liquidity risk by performing market research to analyze the potential market, and also budgeting to help us better manage our finances. So now you may be asking, who are our competitors? Well, there are two main competitors, which are Quiet On and Bose, both of them being noise-cancelling earbuds designed to help you sleep, with Bose having their own app that plays relaxing sounds to aid in sleeping. We plan to compete using differentiation by implementing binaural beats into our app, as well as the smart alarm system. Furthermore, to ensure the users have a full night's sleep without worrying the battery, Snooze have a battery life up to 24 hours, which is longer than both the Quiet On earbuds and the Bose earbuds. Also, besides competitors, there are also substitutes that aid your sleeping out in the market. One such substitute would be sleeping pills. Although effective, they require a doctor's prescription. Also, they are addictive and comes with side effects like mental slowing and headaches. In contrast to that, Snooze does not have any of those downsides and can even improve your sleep quality. Lastly, as for a business milestone, year 0, will be prototyping stage where we will be working closely with our programmers to develop our app. Then in year 1, we plan to have a grand opening through exhibitions and roadshows. We'll also be promoting our product through different advertising media as mentioned by Alicia. During this year, we'll focus our sales in Malaysia. By year 2, we'll increase marketing and let our sales grow. And by year 3, we'll further our R&D departments to continue to innovate and develop our product by adding new features to it while also researching ways to enhance our earbuds. By year 4, we'll be launching new and improved earbuds. And in year 5, we'll be expanding our market into Southeast Asia.
So in conclusion, Snooze Earbuds is a revolutionary product that utilizes binaural beats in order to facilitate better quality sleep and overall make your sleeping experience better. So what are you waiting for? Together, let's invest in better sleep quality and let's snooze together.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we will now open to Q&A. One question at a time for the judges. So we will start now. Who would like to start first?
Yeah, may I start, please?
Sure.
Thank you, Jack. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Snooze team. A very, very energetic presentation. As usual, I always enjoy the level of energy from you young people. So this item, right? Your target market is T20. I mean, one of your target market is T20. Have you done a research or of any kind to find out whether a large majority of those who are sleep deprived are from this category? I mean, especially since your item is so expensive, I think T20 would be your main target market.
Thank you for the question, Miss Monsi. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, you did. Thanks.
So to clarify what you mean, are you asking, have we done any research into the T20 group and whether they actually suffer from sleep problems?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we actually have done. And as working adults from age 30 to 50, I'm pretty sure even the judges have experienced this before. You guys, or you judges, sorry, will experience a lot of sleep problems. Maybe you're too stressed out. Maybe you have other things on your mind. But the thing is, most people will have sleep problems. As to why we targeted T20 is because we wanted to reduce our cash flow problems and liquidity risk. And you may be, if we do target in terms of cost leadership and go for maybe the B40 group, which also may have people that suffer from sleep, one issue that will come out is the issue of trust, because we advertise ourselves as a very high-tech product, a very high-tech and premium product that claims to be better than products like Quiet On and Bose, and claims to even have more features than them. So if we market it at a cheaper price, we might not be able to gain the consumer's trust, because they would be asking, well, if your product is so much better, why is it charged so much cheaper than Bose and Quiet On? Where, yeah, to answer your question.
Okay, thanks, Jason.
Anyone else?
Yeah, hi, this is Bonnie from BDO. I'd like to go next. Thank you, Team Snooze, for the presentation. Very energetic and an interesting product indeed. Well, I am guilty and I suffer from sleep deprivation. So this really hits the heart. And I am very curious to know if you have done any test market or any trial to show the effectiveness of your product as compared to your competitors, because I noticed in one of your slides that you do compare with 2 other competitors in the market, but you seem to use this beats, the binaural beats, as that would be your unique. So how effective is this use of the binaural beat, and is there any market study that is going to help sleep deprivation? Because I think for me, if I'm looking at it as a consumer, I have problems sleeping because my mind thinks of a lot of issues during the night that doesn't get resolved during the day, right? So how does this help the situation, and how effective is it?
Thank you for your question. For our binaural beats function, we do have scientific research, a blinded study where they actually tested it on participants. So how it works is that they play different frequencies in each ear, and the difference in frequencies, your brain will produce that frequency. So the higher the frequency, the more alert you are. But if you are feeling stressed, you can play lower frequencies. Yeah. So frequencies like the alpha frequency helps you to relax, and it aids in the sleeping process. So basically what we do is from a higher frequency, we slowly make it lower and lower and lower. That's what our app does. And it does work. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have some studies done on your test markets?
Thank you for
as in, sort of results, as in comparison. Have you got a test market done to show some results?
So have we ourselves done the research to prove that this works with our product? Is that the question, Ms. Bonnie?
Yes.
Okay. So currently we have not tested the binaural beats with our own test subjects, but we do have scientific evidence backed up, and we understand that it's not enough. So that's why we have the prototype year, where we will be working closely, as Olivia said, with the programmers to develop and polish the binaural beats in order to create the best frequencies for everyone. And we will achieve this and determine this through multiple test groups with different people to see and to measure the results. Only then, once we have confirmed that it actually works, will we release the product.
Thank you for your clarification.
Any other judges?
Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
Melissa,
Everyone's trying to ask, rushing to ask questions. Team Snooze, thanks. Great presentation, and I love the idea. My question, actually, I just want to dive a little bit deeper into the rationale for your pricing. And also, when you talk about the cost, 188, is that, does that come with a minimum order quantity, usually for these type of hardware products? What's included in the 188 cost, and why did you choose the markup, to 899?
Okay, thank you, Miss Melissa, for the question. Are you asking for the cost composition of our product? Am I getting you correct?
Yes, actually, yeah, I have one specific item I wanted to look into, but yeah, can you do the cost breakdown for that?
Yeah, for the cost breakdown, our earbud is cost at 45 ringgit and 0.44 per unit. And also in our cost, we'll include marketing costs and our programmer salary, and also for our office and logistics. So this is our cost breakdown.
Okay, that's great. And then what would be the rationale for you to price at 899? Is there a minimum order quantity that you must order to get the 45 per unit cost?
So we actually contacted our supplier, because we outsource our production of earbud to a supplier from China. And the minimum order quantity is, we contacted them and we asked for the minimum order quantity, which we get is 3,000 units. So that's why we price it at this price.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can I go next?
Desmond
from PwC. Hope you can hear me. I'm actually quite excited with the trajectory of growth in your sales and also your profitability, right? I think for any new product that you market, one of the biggest spend would be your A&P spend, means your advertising and promotion spend. Okay, can I know, for budgeting purposes, what is your A&P spend as a percentage of total sales, and how do you intend to spread this spend, i.e. what is the mix? Ambassadors, above the line advertising, below the line advertising, and also social media. Thanks.
Okay, for the marketing costs, so we actually done a research that we actually get that to know that 26% of social media say that they tend to buy brands that advertise. So we use this 26% as a base, and to achieve our sales target in first year, which is 6,500, based on this 26%, we need to advertise it to around 25,000 people, which you can see here. The cost per click for 25,000 people is 335,000. And also, as mentioned by Alicia just now, we also plan to advertise our product through radio, which you can see we've done some research on the pricing of each radio and get this around to the cost of 300,000. So it makes up the marketing cost for the first year, which is 704,000. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it does. But quick question. Sorry. How much would it be marketing cost per unit? Because you plan to sell 6,500 units, and you plan to spend how much on marketing? Close to 700K.
Okay. Unfortunately, that's the amount of time that we have already. So 10 minutes is done. Sorry, Li Kiang and Suchi, I think you have questions to ask, but we'll have to leave it to the next group. All right. Okay, thank you. So we would like to now invite you back to your rooms, and then from there on, I will bring in the next group. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, judges.
Thank you, judges. Thank you.
You.
Okay, I'll bring in the next group. Team Snooze, you may go back to your own rooms. Okay. I'll bring in the next team. The next team we have is Project Riptide. Okay. Would you all like to test your mic first?
Okay, thank you so much. Mic test, mic test.
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 Okay, so good. With that, are you all ready?
Yes.
Screen first.
Can you guys see the screen?
Yes. If you're ready, you can start now. Ready?
Yes, we are ready.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, start.
A very good morning to our wonderful panel of judges. My name is Vincent.
My name is Haikal. My name is Lester.
My name is Kaming.
And my name is Razin.
And together we are
Project Riptide.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a show of hands if you have seen this article about microplastic being found in the human blood for the first time? Okay, thank you so much for your responses. So for those who aren't familiar with this term, microplastics can be defined as any fragments of any type of plastic less than 5 millimeters in length. With that in mind, fellow investors, did you know there's approximately 24 trillion pieces of microplastic in the ocean? This is equivalent to 30 billion plastic water bottles. To help you visualize how much plastic is that, this is enough plastic water bottles to surround the earth not once, not twice, but 165 times. Although small in size, microplastic can bring a lot of harm. Firstly, it's extremely detrimental to the marine ecosystem, as most animals mistake this microplastic as food. Besides that, they even harm our coral reefs. And scariest of all, they are harmful towards us humans, as most of this microplastic ends up on our plate. Multiple studies indicate that consumption of this microplastic might lead to disease such as cancer, obesity, physical disruption to our GI tracts, and they can even poison us, as they can absorb and concentrate toxic organic substances. Fellow investors, the severities issue is extremely urgent, as according to WWF, if we do not act on this issue now, the amount of microplastic could potentially increase by 50-fold by the year 2040. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, that's where our product comes into play. Introducing Hydrostat, the static electricity CE microplastic extractor.
The hydrostat has two main parts, the positively charged aluminum plate and the negatively charged aluminum mesh. So how does it work? Firstly, the aluminum plate will release positive ions into the water, and as you can see, the little specks are the microplastics. Then, the positive ions will attach themselves to the microplastics, making them positively charged. And next, as we know, positive and negative attracts. Here's an image to give you a clearer picture on how the process occurs. The microplastics that have now been positively charged will be attracted towards the negatively charged aluminum mesh. We have made a prototype of the product and conducted an experiment to test its capabilities. We inserted microplastics into a container filled with water, and then we inserted the prototype into the container and switched it on. After an hour, as you can see, the microplastics started to gather at the aluminum mesh. The white specks are the microplastic. Here is a 3D image of the hydrostat to give you a clearer picture on how it will look like in real life. A unique feature of the hydrostat is that it can store the microplastics by rotating the aluminum mesh on top of the container and then cutting the power and allowing the microplastics to fall into the container.
The exterior of Hydrostat will be made of an eco-friendly plastic, which is a composite material made from rice husk, which is an agricultural waste, and used polypropylene, such as from plastic water bottles, and even microplastic we have previously collected. Hydrostat will be powered using solar energy by using solar panels, and it will have an EMP transmitter located at the bottom to transmit electric magnetic waves to deter fish from coming close to it. Next, Hydrostat will have two high-powered propellers equipped with motion sensors, and moving on, this waterproof compartment will contain the circuit boards, GPS module, and the battery.
After conducting a competitors analysis, we have discovered that Suzuki Microplastic Collector will be our major competitor. So now, let's take a look at the table of comparison here as why our product is better. Firstly, and the most importantly, our product can operate anytime, which is a significant advantage over Suzuki Microplastic, which can only operate while the boat is in use. Next, our product is more effective as we can collect more microplastics. This is because, unlike our competitor, Hydrostat not only relies on the ocean waves to bring the microplastics towards them, but also uses electrostatic force to attract microplastics onto the aluminum mesh as mentioned earlier. Besides that, Hydrostat is eco-friendly since we use eco-friendly plastic and solar panels instead of metal and dangerous gas emissions from the boat's engine.
So the question is, who is our target? Fellow investors, the government has published a National Marine Litter Policy and Action Plan. The ministry has shown a lot of concerns regarding microplastics. As shown in the action plan, the ministry is planning to research solutions for technologies to reduce microplastics in the ocean. With that being said, we will be targeting the Ministry of Environment and Waters of Malaysia, who is in charge of this marine litter roadmap, and we'd like to take this opportunity to be the main supplier to the government. Other than that, we'll be targeting non-government organizations that do major ocean cleanups operations such as Ocean Conservancy, 7 Clean Seas, the Ocean Cleanup, 4 Ocean, and Big Blue Ocean.
Fellow investors, for our marketing strategy, as our target market is business to government and business to business, we will be using direct selling method. Next, an official website will be established so that customers will be able to learn about how our product works and also providing access to customer services regarding any issues on our product. And then we will create our own social media accounts such as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter in order to produce online presence, where we will post photos and information about the harmful effects of microplastics towards the ocean lives to raise awareness among the public. With this, the public will pressure these organizations to buy our product. We also will be holding live demonstrations of how our product works at expos such as MTE, MIMAX, MMW, and ETEX, making it a perfect opportunity for us to launch our product locally and internationally. For our product distribution, we will collaborate with DHL to deliver our product from our factory to our customers.
Moving on is the roadmap for our company. In phase 1, we plan to collaborate with Sunway iLabs to complete developing our prototype. In the same year, we have Hydrostat 1.0 fully developed and conduct beta water testing for our product. In phase 2, we will officially launch Hydrostat 1.0 and operations will be conducted in shallow waters of Malaysia. In phase 3, we will conduct R&D for Hydrostat 2.0 where it can be operated in deep oceans. In phase 4, we will launch Hydrostat 2.0, expand our product firstly into Southeast Asia and later to whole of Asia. And in phase 5, we will be launching our product globally.
Fellow investors, here is the finance. For our product, its selling price will be 3,515 ringgit per unit, as the cost of our product is 1,870, which comes from the material cost, labor cost, and the production cost, which is a markup of 88%. Next, we will be having an annual subscription of 450 per unit for maintenance. By paying for our subscription, you will receive a warranty extension up to 5 years. For our product, we will require an investment of 5,400 ringgit for phase 1, another 135,600 ringgit for phase 2, which totals to 141,000 from investors. This is equivalent to 30% of the total funds we need. We'll be investing 50% of the funds ourselves, and the remaining 20% will come from crowdfunding and bank loans. Moving on to our capital investment breakdown, 51% will be used to purchase material costs, another 39% will be used for fixed costs. 15% will be used for R&D, meanwhile another 3% and 2% will be used in non-current assets and marketing. Now, if you take a look into our revenue stream, we will incur a revenue of 400,000 inclusive of our maintenance of 45,000 in 2023 and have a steady growth up to 3.7 million in 2026. Next, based on our analysis, our product will achieve break-even with only 125 units. Next, here's our profit projection for fellow investors. By looking at the 2023 figure, we'll incur a loss of 56,000. However, this will begin to change in the year 2024 as we will begin to get a profit of 430,000, thus constantly rising until 2 million in 2026. Therefore, investors will have an average return on investment of 65%.
Moving on, we have identified 3 main risks for our company. First is the climate risk, where weather may affect the operations. We mitigate this risk by having motion sensors that will detect heavy weather changes, and the boat will be alerted and it will automatically navigate to a safe zone where there's less water turbulence. Next is the financial risk, where our company may face insufficient funding. To mitigate this risk, we'll be applying for bank loans, crowdfunding such as GoFundMe, and business angels such as WeFunder. Lastly is the intellectual property risk. As this is a brand new invention, it will be copied by many others. We will mitigate it by having this technology patent. So ladies and gentlemen, our company aligns itself with one of UN 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which is life below water. We believe the ocean is a beautiful place, and future generations deserve to experience it just like we do as well. So what are you waiting for? Invest in us today for a
better future tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, thank you very much. Judges, anybody would like to start first? Siuchi, you want to try first?
Sure.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
hi,
you.
thanks. That was an engaging presentation. Yeah, so one question I have, so I understand, I mean, you showed a competitor analysis in which I think you said that the competitor, you need a boat, right, to run. But in your case, it automatically runs by itself. Is that correct? So I wanted to ask, I mean, in terms of is it controlled like remotely by an app, or like, you know, where's the part on the development on that?
Okay, thank you so much for your question. So Hydrostat will be a deployable vessel that we can deploy into the sea, and is automatically run by the programs that we program into it. It will not be remote control, as we want it to run 24/7.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so in terms of the research between the microplastics that, you know, it can collect as opposed to the competitors in the market, I mean, what is the percentage that is significantly higher as a result of that being able to run your 24/7 versus your competitor?
Thank you so much for your question. So Hydrostat will be able to collect 50 grams per hour, as after we've done our experiment using our prototype and upscaling by the size and the voltage we're using, we can collect a total of 50 grams per hour, which is equivalent to 1 plastic bottle and a half. As compared to our competitor, we will be twice as effective. This is because our competitor, which is Suzuki Microplastic, they can only collect microplastic when they only rely on ocean waves to collect microplastic, but they don't have any external forces to collect this microplastic, unlike Hydrostat, as we use electrostatic force to collect this microplastic. So they can only collect the microplastic when they pass through it and they pick it up using their filter. Therefore, we believe that we are twice as effective.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have another? Next judge.
Can I have a follow-up question, please? I'm Monsi from KPMG. Thank you so much
sure.
for your
Then after that,
your presentation. Yeah, sorry, Lee Kyung, I'm sorry, I jump in. How is your machine powered up? I might have missed that, but how do you, is it battery or?
Okay, thank you so much for your question. I will pass this on to my technician, which is Mr. Haikao.
Okay.
Okay, for product, there will be a battery in the product itself that will power the product at night, and in the morning, the product will have a solar panel that will supply the product with electricity to hand.
Okay,
I hope that answers.
Good. Yes, thanks.
Lee Kyung, you want to go next? Do you have a question?
Yeah, so one question. So looking at the prototype, that was kind of, I guess, the small scale, but if you were to scale this up, especially you're going to B2B and also kind of a government, how would your prototype be able to scale up, and how would that look like?
Okay, so thank you for your question. So our prototype right now is only 1.0, and it's only for shallow waters of Malaysia. That means it's just like at the shores of the oceans only. It won't be going into the deep oceans. So we have already planned in our roadmap that we will develop a 2.0 where it can actually collect these microplastics in deep oceans. I hope that answers your questions.
Okay, and maybe just a follow-up question to that. Based on your research, or if you have done the research already, where would be the highest concentration of these microplastics? Is it shallow waters, deep waters, or kind of mid waters?
Okay, thank you so much for your question. So right now, there's not much evidence on where is the hotspot of microplastic in Malaysia, as the Malaysian government is conducting a lot of experiments. So when the data is collected, we will use that to determine where we would like to sell. We deploy our hydrostat. But right now, according to data, majority of this microplastic is actually on the shores. And therefore, we actually plan to start to sell our hydrostat as shallow waters, because majority of this microplastic will be there.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, next we have
Desmond here.
Desmond. Yep.
Yeah, actually, I'm interested in the pricing, i.e., the costing model, right? Where there's a cost base of I heard 1870, targeted selling price 3515, so there's a markup of 88%. So how do you derive this magic number of 88%? What are your data points on setting this magic number 3515? And also a follow-up on that, it's your competitor, right? Suzuki Microplastic. What is their profitability for the year?
Okay, thank you so much for your question. So we based on this price from just seeing, and because Suzuki Microplastics, the collectors, right, they use a boat engine. So it's very hard for us to determine a perfect price for our product. So compared to theirs, their boat is estimated about 3,000 to 4,000 just for the engine. So we try to mark up our product at a reasonable price. That's why we choose 88% to mark up this our product.
Thanks for the answer.
Do we have another question from the judges?
Yeah, maybe just a quick question. Well, I think this product is quite interesting, and I hear that you say it runs 24/7, right? And have you all looked at also how long is this product lifespan, and really presumably it's going to be, if it's going to be used, it will be a long-term kind of arrangement. So what kind of how long will the product last before your customers will then have to buy new ones? Because I think you also have a maintenance model on top of that.
Okay, thank you so much for your question, Ms. Bonnie. So our product has a lifespan of up to 20 years. This is because inclusive of the maintenance fee, which will be done half yearly. So they will do it every 6 months. So every time they maintain, the technicians will actually look through all the parts and products to make sure everything is functioning properly. Therefore, by undergoing a subscription plan for maintenance fee, this will heavily increase the lifespan of Hydrostat up to 20 years.
So then a quick follow-up question on that maintenance is that I think your product is not controlled, right? It's sort of like auto and they roam around. How do the maintenance team go look for it in the open ocean? And I think sometimes we've experienced looking for a plane and it's very difficult in the ocean. How does that work into this pricing of your 450 per year? Because that seems very low price. And have you thought about covering that part of the cost properly?
Okay, thank you so much for your question. So Hydrostat will actually have a GPS module installed inside of this compartment, which is waterproof. So by using this GPS module, it can actually detect where's the coordinate of the hydrostat, and therefore this technician can actually go and collect all the hydrostats. Furthermore, to justify the amount of 450 ringgit, we actually have prepared a slide to show why we charge this amount. Okay, so the maintenance will be half yearly, as I said, and the majority fees will go to travel expenses, software updates, as our robot is automated. Therefore, it needs regular software updates, the technician fees, the repair fees, and lastly, the part replacement. Hopefully that answers all your questions. Thank you so much.
Okay. We have 1 more minute. Anyone else want to ask a question? Melissa, do you have a question?
I just have a quick question. Like you mentioned that, if you're running this machine in shallow waters, right? I think if there are like large pieces of, garbage, right, not just plastic, would that interfere with the operation? Because I've seen some of the waters around our oceans, and very sadly, there's quite a bit of large floating garbage items here.
Okay, thank you so much for your question. So when hydrostat actually comes in contact with these microplastics, which is a large plastic, the electrostatic force produced by our hydrostat actually won't be enough to pick up this microplastic and stick it onto the aluminium mesh. Therefore, the voltage is actually, we actually adjusted the voltage so they can only have enough energy to pick up the microplastics. Therefore, all the microplastics will not actually interfere with our operations. Hopefully that answers your question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, just in time. All right, thank you very much, team Project Riptide. I invite you to go back to your own room. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much to all the judges and Mr. Jack.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Well done. Okay. We have with us the team leave with us. So would you like to test out your mics?
Mic test 1 2 3.
Mic test 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Testing.
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 Okay.
Would you like to share your screen now? Okay, are you ready to present? All right, good. So I'll start 1 2 3, start.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us start off with 2 questions. How many of us have witnessed dry leaves burning? And how many of us have actually done something about it? The open burning of dry leaves has been a perpetual problem in Malaysia. Therefore, we bring the solution to you today. Good morning. My name is Aiden.
I'm Ian.
I'm Adrian.
I am Keith.
I'm Don. And we are Live With Us.
Nowadays, there has been an increasing interest in the management of resources in order to design strategies for one integrated system of waste management. Therefore, we have come up with an idea based on green technology to conserve natural resources for a sustainable future. Presenting to you the dry leaf fiberboard. Our wood resources are depleting while demand soars. Therefore, an attempt has been made to create a low-cost particle board made by compressing dry leaves together and sealing it with formica. This way, manufacturing costs can be minimized whilst creating a high-quality fiberboard. Our dry leaf fiberboard is used to replace the conventional wooden medium-density fiberboard, also known as the MDF, to create household products such as cabinets, floors, doors, tables, chairs, as well as wainscoting. So why choose us, a company with this one-of-a-kind invention? First of all, it reduces the act of deforestation, as normally rubber wood trees are cut down to create the conventional wooden MDF. Next, it also reduces the act of open burning of dry leaves, which can release many harmful greenhouse gases into our atmosphere. Also, everyone can now afford our product as it is cheaper than the regular wooden fiberboard found in the market. It is also very feasible as we are able to sign with multiple furniture manufacturers in the future. By this creation, we are saving approximately 200 bags of dry leaves a day. And without the idle piles of dry leaves just laying around, we can now remove the breeding grounds of Aedes mosquitoes and potentially eliminate the dengue fever. While in this industry, we are bound to face competitors. Let me allow my colleague Ian to explain further on that.
Thank you, Aiden. So what differentiates us, a startup company, from other companies who have already established a name for themselves in this market? This competitor analysis aims to showcase our competitive advantages over our competitors. So first and foremost, who are our competitors? Donghua, a South Korean-based international company, and Boardply, a local wood manufacturer. Diving straight into the product comparison, it is worth noting that our competitors have no product differentiation going on, which in turn helps us to stand out. The modulus of rupture, which is the main ingredient used by our competitors, is rubber wood, while ours is dry leaves, but more on that later. The modulus of rupture, which is basically the amount of force required to break the wood, is 18 megapascals for our competitors, while ours is significantly higher at 22 megapascals. The eco-friendliness of our boards are also high because our main material comes from dry leaves, which otherwise would have been burned. The cost of manufacturing or the selling price for our boards are also lower because our raw materials are cheaper and easier to obtain. Moving on to the ingredient list, the main ingredient used by our competitors is rubber wood, which composes for over 80% of their board. Rubber wood is known to be susceptible to fungal staining, insect attacks, it may trigger latex allergies, and it has a strong tendency to decay. To curb these effects, it has to undergo a lot of harsh chemical treatment, which may be a turn-off to many. On top of that, any type of woodworking will lead to the creation of a byproduct called sawdust. Inhalation of sawdust can cause nasal and paranasal sinus cancer. So, how much do our boards go for? Our boards come in dimensions of 30 by 30 centimeters with a thickness of 12 millimeters and is priced at only 3 ringgit and 15 cents per piece, while the board of the same size by our competitors range from 3 ringgit and 60 cents on the low end up to 3 ringgit and 87 cents on the higher end. So on top of a stronger and eco-friendly board, our boards are also much more affordable to obtain. Now on to you, Adrian, for the marketing strategy.
Thank you, Ian. Now let me start off with market sizing. Here, I have a diagram based on the year 2020 showing a steady expansion of global fiberboard market throughout the years. The largest market as well as the fastest growing market for fiberboard in the world is Asia Pacific, and the expected CAGR is more than 3.5%. Next up, we aim to collaborate with Sign Property and Sign Construction by maintaining a business relationship where we purchase dry leaves from them and offer to sell them our fiberboard at a discounted rate. As we know, Sign Group is a supporter of UN SDG, and our product complies with SDG 9 and 13, which are innovation and climate action. Therefore, our fiberboard will be the perfect choice for the future use on furnishing purposes. For target market, we plan to market to furniture manufacturers such as Ashley Furniture Industries, as they are one of the world's largest furniture industries. Furthermore, IKEA, Kazatek, and also Trenggavir, Malaysia. We will also set up a dry leaf collection competition as our marketing campaign twice a year during the first year to promote our brand. In order to increase public awareness and attract more people to participate in this campaign, we will be providing cash prizes to the top 3 winners of most leaves collected. As for our marketing methods, we will be doing digital marketing through social media to increase our social media presence, as well as business-to-business marketing, where we contact furniture manufacturers directly to sell them our fiberboard. For example, we will upload a short video of us comparing our fiberboard with the ones that are currently in the market in terms of toughness and eco-friendliness to get the attention of the general public. Once people start to acknowledge our creation, this will cause a social movement and influence consumers' buying pattern to switch to a more eco-friendly product. And with this, retailers such as IKEA will start adapting to a change in material, and therefore, we will have the high ground when pursuing our target market to purchase our fiberboard. Due to the fact that our concept of producing fiberboard using dry leaf is new to the industry, Therefore, we will be setting up an official website for our customers to get to know us better, as well as providing customer service to them. That's all from me. Now I'll pass the finance part to Keith.
Thanks, Adrian. Now, fellow investors, I'll be bringing you through the area that all of you have been waiting for, the lifeline of our organization, our finances. To start off, we at Leaf Leaders are seeking an initial investment of 320,000 ringgit. Now, as you can see from diagram, the investment will be split into three components, the first being assets and reserves, followed by R&D, and finally, marketing. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, why assets and reserves take such a large proportion of our investment? Well, it will be used to support the requisition of our non-current assets, as well as the overall manufacturing of our inventory. Now, moving on to the product pricing. As a continuation of what my colleague Ian stated, the selling price of our product will be set at 3.15 ringgit, which is actually well below the market average. And this comes with a cost of 2.1 and an overall markup of 50%. And this in turn translates to a profit margin of 33% as a whole. Nevertheless, as our company progresses, we believe our costs will be further minimized with the scaling up of operations, as well as leveraging economies of scale. Now let's proceed with the revenue projection. We believe our product is able to generate a revenue of 252,000 in the first year, and is expected to grow 50 to 60% year on year with the help of our marketing efforts, as well as overall increase in brand awareness. And in year 5, revenue is expected to peak at a high of 1.65 million ringgit. Next, in order to cover our total costs, we would have to sell approximately 37,200 units of our product, the dry leaf fireboard, which is actually equivalent to 117,000 ringgit financially. Now, fellow investors, let me divert your attention to our payback period. It is expected that we are able to pay back your initial investment after a mere 3.25 years in business operations. And finally, with a capital employed of 320,000 ringgit, investors like you can expect a steady growing ROI, with the first year providing an ROI of 39%, and the 5th year providing an ROI of 379%. And this actually averages out to an overall ROI of 168% in the span of 5 years. Now, that is a worthwhile investment if you ask me. And over to you, John, on the risk analysis.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, with great risks come greater returns. Therefore, I've listed down some risks we will face and also the techniques we plan to manage it. The first risk will be public concern risk, where the public has distrust or low awareness towards our product. Therefore, we'll be applying for the International Product Certification License from the CQS, as this provides a safety recognition towards all our consumers. We will also be hosting the dry leaf collection competition and demonstration video, as mentioned by Adrian just now, as part of our marketing efforts. Next, the next risk will be replication risk, where we will apply for patent to secure the official rights for our own invention. We will also do continuous research and development to show the world that we are a company that adopts the constantly improving culture. As for competition risk, we'll be collaborating with the Ministry of Environment to host the Leaf Green Steps campaign. So what is this campaign? This campaign is a campaign where it promotes the usage of green products and encourage the public to buy green products such as our product that sustains the future generation. We will also be applying the price penalty strategy as we sell lower than the market value, even though we provide bigger benefits. The next risk is operation risk. We'll have strict quality control over all our operations, as we have 24/7 supervision over all of them. As we all know, these are also flammable products. Therefore, we will be applying for the fire insurance in case any accident occurs. We will also be buying the product liability insurance to protect ourselves against very severe legal claims. The last risk is financial risk. We'll be joining the architects, where we get to showcase our product and gain more investment for potential investors. We'll also be applying for the White Year government grant, as these products have several tax exemptions. In year 3, we'll be exporting our product to China, as they're the world's biggest furniture exporter at 31%. In year 6, we were attending the flooring industry, as nowadays people are taking fiberboard as another cheaper alternative of better flooring. Thank you for listening to us, and we hope you choose to live with us.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
So who would like to ask the first question?
Can I ask first? Sorry.
Sure.
Thank you so much for that very energetic presentation. I'm wondering, can you maybe share with us your process of changing or converting the dry leaves to your final product? I mean, what goes through that process? I'm just wondering whether there's any, not so environmentally friendly process that's involved, right? Because we know that papers, that kind of papers, so it goes through some kind of process which is not so friendly, eco-friendly. So please share.
Okay, yes. So this is a very simplified manufacturing process of our production of our dry leaf fireboard. And contrary to your belief, this actually doesn't undergo any form of environmentally unfriendly process. So first and foremost, the dry leaves are sourced when we work with private environmental waste management companies to source the dry leaves, and then they are dried using an industrial dryer. And then the dry leaves are ground by using a grinder. And then next slide. The ground dry leaves are then mixed with resin. So there is a certain ratio which we cannot disclose about our product, but there is a certain mixture that hardens the board properly and glues it together, and then it also provides a waterproof layer by using paraffin wax. And then that mixture is then compressed with a hydraulic hot compressor for 30 minutes, and there is a certain amount of weight that is exerted by the hydraulic hot compressor to really compress and make the board denser. And of course, applied at different pressures, the board can either be less dense or more dense. And then the completed fireboard is then cut to the required size, and then the top and bottom layer is laminated with formica and veneer to increase its commercial value and of course its strength. And this is what a prototype of our board looks like. And as you can see, it can withstand the weight of this bottle. Of course, this is a very simple prototype. This is a throwable prototype, which basically means it focuses more on the looks rather than its functionality. Would you like me to walk you through the process of putting this very simple board, or does this already answer your question?
Yeah, I think that's fine. Thank you so much.
Anyone else?
Yeah, hi. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Suchi. Yeah, actually, a great product. Very, I like the environment aspect of it. My question actually is regarding the revenue projections and the demand side. Maybe you can share a little bit about, like, for example, in this industry, what's the usual purchase order size, or that sort of metrics, and how you come up with your revenue projections? Who are you selling to? How many of these types of boards do they typically need or order and use, and how would that fit into your revenue projections?
Right, so thank you for your question. So first of all, actually, as previously mentioned, we'll be collaborating with Sunway Properties and Sunway Construction. So John, can you please direct us to the 77th slide? Yeah. So for example, Sunway Property currently has projects such as Sunway Bellevue and Sunway Velocity 2. So these two projects actually come with partial furnishings. And what we can do is that we are actually targeting to approach them so that we are able to supply them kitchen cabinets. And for example, let me just give you an idea of it. All right, so for just let's say a conventional IKEA cabinet actually uses 41 of our boards, just a standard conventional cabinet. And that would actually be used in all these semi-furnished units in Sunway. So for example, for Sunway Bellevue, there'll be 880 units. And this would actually generate a revenue for us of 389,000 ringgit for just this one project. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay. Suchi, you want to go next?
Yeah, so anyway, I'll follow on from this. So I think just now you showed that to make one standard cabinet, you manufacture with 41 boards, right? Okay, so in terms of your supply, because principally it's dry leaves, so how are you going to ensure that you have a consistent supply of dry leaves? I'm not sure how much dry leaves we have. Like how much dry leaves would you need, let's say, to make one piece of a board? And let's say if you make one cabinet and that takes 41 boards, like how much dry leaves would you actually need, and how do you make sure that you have enough of that?
Okay, so thank you for your question. Great question. So first and foremost, to answer your first question about the supply of leaves, we are actually working with environmental waste management companies such as SWM, Southern Waste Management, and Alam Flora in acquiring our dry leaves. So SWM and Alam Flora, they have specially assigned workers to collect only dry leaves scattered around housing areas normally. And then this saves us the hassle from having to source for laborers to collect the dry leaves for us, and also saves us the trouble from having to segregate piles of trash into dry leaves and other waste. And also, there is already an ongoing supply and demand for these dry leaves, whereby private companies approach environmental waste management companies in order to acquire dry leaves to then make fertilizers. So since there is already an ongoing supply and demand for dry leaves, we do not foresee any production bottlenecks in terms of our supply of dry leaves. And to answer your next question, sorry, could you please repeat your second question?
Oh yeah, like how much leaves would you require to make your boards?
All right. So as you can tell from this computation, you can skip all the way to number 4 if you don't want to read through the tedious calculations. So 1 cubic centimeter of board, okay? First of all, let me clarify that we use a volumetric measurement because it is more accurate because our dry leaves are compressed into forming the board. So it doesn't really take into account the surface area, but rather the volume. So 1 cubic centimeter of board uses approximately 0.05 grams. And in order to give you an idea of how heavy this is, 1 paper clip weighs 1 gram. So to make 1 cubic centimeter of a board, it is 95% lighter than a paper clip, and it is about 6 feathers heavy. So it requires very little dry leaves, but the more important process is rather how you compress it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have another question from the judges?
I have a question on your investment costs. I gather that you need about 320,000 as your initial investment cost, and majority of that goes into your production facilities. Am I right? Yeah, assets and reserves, you call it. So I just wanted to understand then better in terms of your production facility. Is this going to be a facility that you intend to construct? And where is it going to be housed in? Is it a piece of land that you have already acquired, or is it going to be rented from a factory place? So a bit more clarification on that, please.
All right, thank you for your question. John, can you divert us to slide 42? Yes, to answer your question, whether or not we'll be building the production facility from the ground up, no, because we actually have already sourced a production facility located in Klang, Selangor, and this will be used for a small-scale production facility, as we do not want to expand our company too fast, as there are risks in that. And for the fixed costs, for the capital investments, can you please move to slide 45? We actually done our research, and these are the requirements for us so that we can actually conduct our production process to begin with it as soon as possible. Yeah. And 46 slide. Yeah. So I hope that gives you a rough overview of it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have another question? We still have time for maybe one more question.
Okay, I'll have a go. It's regarding your IP, your intellectual property, right? Where do you plan to register your intellectual property? And also from the earlier slide, we saw that there is going to be an R&D spend, right? What percentage of the R&D spend as a percentage of sales? And where do you intend to spend that R&D on? Or what do you intend to spend that R&D on?
Right, so I'll be answering the R&D spend first. So basically, the R&D spend would not actually be used on further testing our product. However, it will be used more on the scalability of product in a mass production scenario, because we actually have the prototype, and we believe that with the we would like to optimize our production process so that we can maximize output, as well as to make sure that there is no quality control issues in the foreseeable future. So this would be the R&D would actually be 25% of the initial investment. Yeah. And for the intellectual property, my colleague John will bring you over that.
As for the intellectual property, we are planning to patent our product at a Malaysian patent registration, where this process will take maximum 3 years according to our research. Therefore, in 3 years, we'll be able to patent our product, and other people will not be able to manufacture our product without our permission.
Okay. I think that's all the time that we have for this group. Thank you very much. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
judges.
judges.
Thank you, everyone.
Judges.
Thank you.
So I'll invite you to move back to your own rooms, and then I will bring in the next group. Thank you. Here with us, we have the team Eco Yarn. Okay, and could you test out your mics and see whether it's working?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. So, are you ready to start? Okay,
We
so
are ready.
All right, 1, 2, 3. You may start now.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I bought a cup of coffee. As you all know, coffee is very important to keep us energetic throughout the day. Besides that, fabric plays a vital role in our life. It is used everywhere, even now we are wearing it. However, these two important things can cause bad environmental impact. Data shows that 24 billion kg of coffee ground dumped into the landfill every year. This waste releases methane gas and carbon dioxide, which lead to global warming. And what about fabric? It is known as the second most polluting industry. This is because 62% of the fabric is from synthetic fiber, which equal to 68 billion kg produced every year. 85% of the fabric will be thrown into the landfill and ocean, and this accountable for 20% of water pollution. To be specific, microplastic. It is impossible to retreat and filtrate, which end up in our food and water. This will lead to health risks, such as shown in the article. As you can see, it is not only affect the environment, but also us. The good news is, our company has come up with a product that can bring a revolution in the future. Hi, my name is Arisa. My name is Aisha.
My name is Sharif. My name is Mariam.
My name is Alia. And we are from Ecoyan. Introduce to you Fabro. It is a fabric made from coffee and lyocell. By using recycled coffee ground, we can reduce harmful gases. Not only that, coffee wastage become a burden to cafe owners. So we will use this burden and turn it into something valuable. For lyocell, it is known as the most eco-friendly fiber among other green fibers. We use it as the base to support the fabric because of the durability. And this fiber won multiple awards because of the features. That's why we want to combine it with coffee to make a high-quality fabric. Our product is 100% biodegradable, safe, and ethically produced. Now, you may ask what Fabrio can do. First, it can control odor due to nano coffee ground inside the fabric. Secondly, it can absorb and evaporate moisture efficiently. Therefore, you'll be comfortable throughout the day. And lastly, our fabric can protect your skin from UV rays because of the numerous microscopic pores from the fabric. Now, let Aisha share with you about the competitor analysis.
Thank you, Aisha. According to our research, we have found that our Fabro will be able to provide 3 times more odor control compared to cotton. Not only that, by using our fabric, clothing can effectively improve drying efficiency by 50% compared to other common use fabric, as well as providing 2 times more UV protections compared to cotton. Moving on to the features that came from lyocell, our Fabro will provide durability, thermoregulation, softness, as well as antibacterial. From the table below, we can see that our Fabro has been rated the highest for 3 out of the 4 features mentioned in here, making us the best option for bedding and athleisure fabric. As for the price, we have decided to set our selling price at only 5 ringgit per meter, and most importantly, by using the right composing technique, our Fabro will only take 3 months to decompose, while polyester, on the other hand, will take about 20 to 200 years. Now that we have talked about our product features and strong suits, let's take a look at our target market.
Thank you, Aisha. As you're aware, our product Fabro has a lot of features as mentioned by my colleague Aisha, thus making Fabro known for its versatility. Has potential in many areas, but we would specifically focus on targeting the bedding and athleisure manufacturers to market our product Fabro. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is athleisure? Athleisure is a type of hybrid clothing which is comfortable and casual for both exercise and everyday wear. As the annual growth of athleisure is 8.6%, whereas the bedding section is 9.22%, this shows that our product has a lot of potential in the market. Our company will be implementing a B2B approach, which will be mainly focusing on companies that uses fabric to manufacture the product.
For example, Nike and Alchemy. We will diversify our market by selling both physically and virtually, which will be further described by Aisha.
Thank you, Sharifa. Now, I will be explaining about the marketing strategies that our company will be implementing to drive our sales revenue. Firstly, we are going to send our sales consultant to arrange appointments with the procurement team of our target markets to do a presentation about the product that we are selling. In this way, we can negotiate purchases options and provide more information regarding Febrew and our fabric. We will also launch an Aperture website for our customers to shop here. Through our Aperture website also, potential business clients can actually request for fabric hangers or samples to be delivered to them. In this way, they can review at the comfort of their own studio and office. Last but not least, we aim to promote to trade show exhibitions to showcase our products directly to our potential business clients and investors. This will be done by participating in events such as International Apparel and Textile Fair, as well as Tax World. With all of the marketing strategies that our company will be implementing, let Mariam share with you about our financial projection.
Thank you, Aisha. As stated by Aisha previously, our product will be sold at a price of 5 ringgit per meter. Based on our average cost per meter of 3.05 ringgit, our product will have a markup of 64%. If you will take a look at our revenue chart, we are planning to achieve sales of 2.5 million ringgit in 2023 to 5.49 million ringgit in 2026. As you can see, we will break even at around 268,000 units. We are already expecting a profit of 760,000 ringgit in the first year. This amount is believed to reach 2.46 million ringgit in 2026. To start our company, we will need an initial investment of around 750,000 ringgit. Our production and R&D will be done in-house. This chart shows the breakdown of that investment. Future investors, we believe we can achieve average return on investment of 86% in the first 4 years. We are also expecting a payback period of only 1 year. We will now pass on to Alia for his analysis.
Future investors, that was a huge insight on financials. Now, progressing on to risk analysis. The risk that tops it all is counterfeit of product. This happens when other businesses might come out with similar product. To protect the exclusiveness of our Febrew, we will register for design patent under the Intellectual Property Corporation of Malaysia to mitigate the risk of others producing our product. We will have a feedback platform where our customers' opinion is taken into account so that we can innovate our product and ensure customer satisfaction is kept at top level. Furthermore, we will also update regularly on our customers about the differentiation features of our product if the customers wishes to know more about them. Thus, we can ensure customers' loyalty with us. Number 2, product risk. This happens in a condition when our consumers might face an allergic reaction or sensitivity when they use our product. To mitigate this risk, our business will make sure to obtain serum where our fabric will be thoroughly inspected under the product testing service provided by Serum. A caveat is put on the product's packaging to inform our consumers of its content and how to care with our fabric. In this way, it provides assurance of safety and reliability to our consumers. Number 3, supply risk. This happens when businesses struggle to sustain a good supply of raw materials. We have come to know that every year there's a huge amount of 24 billion kg of coffee ground wastage globally. Therefore, our business will be obtaining coffee grounds from big coffee vendors, especially like all the 328 Starbucks stores in Malaysia who would have diverted 185,000 kg of coffee ground wastage to the landfill. And ever since it started their Starbucks ground program back in 1995, where the coffee grounds are given free of charge. And as for lyocell from eucalyptus trees, which grow very quick and can literally grow anywhere, even on lands that are no longer fit for planting food. We plan to obtain the lyocell from our supplier Alibaba.com, who manages to supply 10,000 tons per month to their customers. Hence, it gives our business the confidence we would not be facing such adverse raw material shortages, and this risk is very low. The least risk is financial risk. For future product development and to diversify, funding is an important issue to be considered. Therefore, our company will try to secure government grants For example, the Industry Forward Intervention Fund and Business Accelerator Program by SME Bank, where the objective is to provide financial assistance to SMEs. Now, passing on to Sharifah for business milestones.
Thank you, Alia. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently on our way to build a prototype, doing research and development to enhance our product and raise awareness. Launch our product, which is within this year 2022. For our business milestone in 2023, we would launch our product and start selling them both physically and virtually. In the following year, we will be doing a collaboration with Nike and Acme. Not only that, we would also be shipping to Southeast Asia countries to expand our market. In the year 2025, we would raise awareness as Sweden, Finland, Denmark as the top 10 countries that are environmental friendly. In the following year, we would expand our market. So, looking for invest in case so we could nurture our mother earth. That is all from us, Eco Yarn, and
Okay, thank you very much. Slight question. Okay. All right, so maybe we will start with the question and answers now. Any judges want to start first?
I can go first, Jai.
Okay, sure.
Again, thank you so much for your energetic presentation, and it's an interesting project. I would ask the same question I asked the other group. Can you share with us the process that you go through to convert the coffee grounds to fabric?
Thank you for your question. There are 5 stages in the process to make the fabric. First, we will obtain our raw material, which is coffee ground, wastage, and lyocell fiber. Secondly, we will clean the coffee ground to extract the oils and then grind down to a nanoscale before we mix it with lyocell fiber. Then we will spin the combination into a yarn by using spinning wheel machine. The next step is to join these yarn threads to form the fabric by using air-jet loom machine. This is done by the process of weaving. And lastly, the fabric will go to the finishing process. After the process is done, we will check the fabric condition to ensure our product is high quality.
I see, thanks. Just wondering whether any stage of this process is not so environmentally friendly. Have you checked?
All these processes are environmentally friendly because we use coffee and lyocell. Coffee doesn't require any toxic chemicals. As for lyocell, actually, can you go to the lyocell? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, as for lyocell, it is used low water, low energy, and closed loop system that recycles over 99.5% of the chemical used in production, with the remaining of 0.5% that will go to the environment is non-hazardous effluent. Also, our fabric doesn't require any pesticides, fertilizers, or any irrigation that is bad for the environment and also for our skin.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe our gentlemen judges.
Sure. Yeah, I saw the feasibility study done on the raw materials, which is coffee and lyocell, but I think I didn't see the feasibility study on the acceptability of FA brew. What is the feedback from Acme, Nike, any initial committed orders, etc.?
Thank you for your question, judges. For now, we don't actually have the information for that because a lot of the information online is limited because they cannot share every part of the process. So this is all we have for now.
Mr. Lee Kiang?
Yeah, pardon my ignorance, I have a question. So I suppose lyocell is some sort of fiber, and then you add your coffee kind of grounds. What is stopping anyone from using a pure lyocell as the base for your fabric, or actually mixing it with some other byproducts? So what would be so special that you by using coffee grounds?
Thank you for your question, judges. So you were asking, can you clarify? You were asking why people not use coffee grounds and lyocell? Is it what you were asking?
No. So I was asking, lyocell seems like a very good product that's given. So what is stopping people from just using pure lyocell in producing the fabric? And then what would be so special about mixing coffee grounds with lyocell instead of using some other, byproducts?
All right, thank you for your question. So lyocell itself is a very durable fabric, but by mixing with coffee grounds, it has a lot of enhanced features such as UV protections, auto control, and fast drying. For the UV protection properties, we actually use the ultraviolet protection factor to determine these features to measure the amount of UV radiation that can penetrate the fabric and reach your skin. And for your information, fabric that is made from coffee grounds has the UPF rating that reaches up to 50+, which is rated as excellent. So it gives a more UV protection than other common use fabric. Other than that, it also gives 2 times more odor control compared to cotton. And last but not least, it is very fast drying that it can give up to 5 times more drying efficiency comparing to other common use fabric. I hope that answers your question.
Sorry, I got a follow-up question. So besides coffee grounds, what other materials or raw materials that you have tested by mixing it together with lyocell?
We actually have only tested the coffee grounds materials to be blended with lyocell.
Okay, thanks.
To add on to that, because coffee ground is very sustainable, as mentioned by my colleague Aya, there is no risk of shortages. And if we use any other material, for example, like bamboo, it is actually not eco-friendly for me because panda, we like take their food. And also for soybean, and soybean need hemp, and hemp is many countries decided to make the cultivation of hemp illegal because it's like the same species with marijuana. So many biodegradable fabric material is not sustainable. That's why we want to combine coffee, which is something troublesome for the environment, also for coffee owners. So we want to turn it into something valuable and also mix it with the most eco-friendly fiber, which is lyocell with excellent features. Yeah.
Thank you. We have 3 more minutes for questions.
Yeah, okay. Thanks. A very interesting presentation, girls. My question actually is a bit related to business strategy. I'm wondering, in terms of the production of this new fabric, what's the initial capacity that you have to produce? And because usually if it's B2B, they do take very large volumes, right? Yeah, so I'm just wondering about what the production capacity will be, and maybe the strategy, why B2B versus maybe something like B2C or something with lower volume. Yeah.
Thank you for your question. So in the year 2019, the sales value of manufactured textile in Malaysia is around 3.22 billion ringgit. So as for our company, we are targeting less than 1% of this amount. Now, you might be wondering, have COVID-19 pandemic affect this statistic? Fear not, as the textile manufacturer market growth in 2022 to 2036 is forecasted to increase by $2.35 billion, therefore securing the demand for this market. This increase is also justified by the annual increase in market embedding for bedding and athleisure in the upcoming year. Therefore, the raw material demand for these markets, which is fabric, is going to increase.
We have 2 more minutes, about 1.5 minutes more. Any more questions you all have for the students?
Okay, just a related question, to the financials. So I see that there was a slide showing the break-even point at a certain amount of units, right? So I just wanted to ask, in terms of these units, what sort of units are you talking about? Is that because you're going for the bedding and the athleisure, right? So when you talk about this break-even point of units, what is this units that you're talking about?
So thank you for your question. For our product, our units, when we mention unit, it is actually related to meter. So 1 unit is 1 meter. So our break-even point is at 268 units, 1,000 units. So the units, 1 unit of our product is actually 1 meter.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So any more? That's all. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you,
Invite
judges.
back to your room.
Thank you, judges. Thank you very
you.
much,
Thank you.
judges. Have a pleasant day.
Thank you. Thank you. Salabo, are you ready to present? Just give me a second. Hang on a second. Yeah. Okay. Are you ready, Salabo? You want to test your mic?
Yes, we are.
You want to test your mic?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so if you are okay, then I will start the time. You want to share your screen first? Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3, you may start.
Morning, judges. My name is Sun Xiang, and my teammates are Rui, Christina, Maggie, and Enshi. Now, before I begin my presentation today, I like to make a confession about my guilty pleasure. I love online shopping, but the main issue that I have is that I always have to return my clothes because I just can't seem to get the right size for myself. In fact, based on our survey, both online shoppers and non-shoppers have voiced their concern that the inability to try out and inaccurate size charts are the main limiting factors of online clothes shopping nowadays. Now, what if we tell you that we can solve these problems here in Styleable? With the emerging AR technology and metaverse trend, our team believes that Styleable, a whole new virtual try-on software with real-time try-it-on function and accurate body measurements feature, will definitely be the outbreak of the virtual fashion industry.
Here in Styleable, our core values are revolutionary, sustainable, and convenient. We aim to bring the world's best virtual shopping experience where you can try on your clothes anywhere, anytime to reduce the return rate of products. So, why should you invest in the fashion market? According to Statista, fashion and beauty are the top 2 e-commerce spend categories in Malaysia and are far leading the top with a total growth of 43.7%. Meanwhile, the growth of the global online apparel retailing market is expected to accelerate at a compound annual growth rate of over 10% from years 2020 to 2024. Hence, Styleable will be the future of the e-commerce apparel market.
Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about Styleable? Styleable is a software that's integrated into online shopping platforms. It enables users to use their smartphone to try on a brand's entire catalog before making their online purchase. By standing in front of the camera, users can see themselves trying on a wide variety of clothes in real time. Besides, we also provide accurate body measurement function. All you need to do is to provide us with your basic information, such as your height, weight, age, and gender. Then our software will automatically scan your body and determine your body measurement with an accuracy up to 97%. Isn't that great? Moreover, Styleable will also provide personalization function to users. We'll send a short survey to users to know what their preferences are. Then we will deliver an individualized and differentiated experience to customers. For instance, AI will recommend clothing and accessories to match the item chosen by the users according to their preferred style and fit. Last but not least, Styleable will also provide exclusive customer profile analysis for retailers after they subscribe to us. Keeping track of the data allows retailers to adapt to fluctuating trends as well as to read what specific items customers might purchase in the future. To make all this happen, Styleable will be collaborating with Wise AI, which is an established AI technology company to develop our software. We believe that the integration of both our technology can provide a wide range of digital solutions for our customers. After all, let's have a look at our competitors.
There are several companies out there that provide similar services like Styleable. Let us use Zikit and StyleMe as our competitors. Firstly, Styleable provides real-time try and fit function, while StyleMe and Zikit only displays avatar models during virtual trial. Next, Styleable takes users' body measurement automatically, whereas the other two require users to manually key in their measurements. Right here, we see that all three platforms provide outfit recommendation, but Styleable enables personalization for each user, as we always believe that who would understand customers well enough other than customers themselves. So what is our business plan?
Our business plans to be self-sufficient and successful by achieving set milestones down the years. As we're still in the prototyping stage till this year end, by 2023, we would like to incorporate and focus on hijab brands like Jelita Sarah and Neelofar to let our Muslim friends try on hijabs with ease. In the same year, we would also launch our own filter on Instagram and work together with Sunway Emails to increase brand awareness. The next year, we will be incorporating into local clothing brands like Padini and joining in Sunway IELTS program for startups like us. By the year 2025, we will add in a brand new feature to let customers have their own personalized shopping experience with the help of machine learning. In the year 2026, we will be expanding to the Asia market. In the first half, to the Southeast Asia market, and by the second half, to the rest of Asia. Lastly, by the year 2027, we will be partnering with emerging fashion designers to prepare for the launch of our own clothing line, Styleable Exclusive. This will be a good chance to let the designers have a platform to showcase their own design and us Styleable to gain a new source of revenue. Now that we have seen all these big plans, how would we actually market our software to our targeted audience?
We'll start off by targeting hijab brands in Malaysia. At this stage, we'll be focusing on female users who are mainly from Gen Z and millennials for the first few years, as they are the primary users of the emerging metaverse. Following our maturity in technology and cash reserves, we'll start looking into the mass market high street brands and also bring in clothing options for both genders. Although we're a B2B company, the ultimate end users of Styleable would be the general public. Hence, we curated a systemic marketing strategy to build awareness, convert, and retain them as our long-term users. As the awareness of this software is still low based on our survey, we'll organize giveaway activities to attract potential users. In the aim of attracting people to know more about our software, we'll also collaborate with social media influencers such as Noor Fazura to spark interest in our target audience. Now, in order to convert them into our actual users, we'll officially launch our software with a live event after the prototyping stage. We plan to organize events such as the Try It On TikTok Challenge, which enables participants to unleash their creativity by filming their ideas into a TikTok video. After they become our actual users, we'll then try our best to retain them by providing personalized profiles to each user. We'll also adopt gamification to increase engagement with users and to gain loyal, returning consumers. Now, how would all these plans be reflected in our finances?
We'll be charging fashion retailers based on usage, which is at a price of as low as 2 cents per click, with the first 1,000 clicks being free. We try to keep our pricing below 5% of companies' annual online revenue to make it a more affordable and feasible investment option. As you can see, this will be the anticipated revenue, and we'll expect a spike in revenue in the third year as we'll be introducing the personalization feature. Costs throughout the years are as shown, and the increment in cost in the fifth year is due to investment in Styleable Exclusive, which will launch in the year after. In the first year, we would incur a loss of 5,000 ringgit, but fret not, as profits will be gradually growing in the upcoming years. However, we would expect a dip in profit in the fifth year due to increased costs. We'll break even at around 2 million clicks, and we expect to pay back our investors in 1.63 years. This is our ROI throughout the years, which averages out to be 62% over the period of 5 years. This will need a total investment of 235,000, but we're only asking for 175,000 at this point to kickstart our prototyping stage. Each of us will be putting in 20,000 ringgit, which makes up to 100,000. So the final figure we require from investors is only 75,000 ringgit. To you now, Maggie.
Risks will always exist when introducing a new product to the market. The first risk we will face is financial risk, where we might have insufficient funds to develop and run our software. In order to mitigate this risk, we will be partnering with Sunway Emos to gain exposure and brand awareness. Other than that, we will participate in Sunway iLabs programs and also forecast the budget before we launch our software. Secondly, it's the replication of technology. Therefore, we will patent our technology. With research and development, we will be able to keep our software up to date. Lastly, we will face data risks relating to our database security. Our partners who already has ample experiences will definitely help us to enhance our database security. Consumers will also need to agree to the terms and conditions before they can use our software, and we will enhance the transparency of the data. With all these steps in place, we are hopeful and prepared to take on and overcome all risks that comes our way.
Ladies and gentlemen, while online shopping used to be such a troublesome and risky activity with unknowns all over, we would be so glad to finally launch a product that can seamlessly blend virtual shopping with the real world. With Styleable, the possibilities are endless. Who knows, maybe one day we'll be able to completely duplicate the experience of physical shopping within the comfort of our houses. So what are you waiting for? All we need is a total investment of 75,000. Invest in our project today and let us all be styleable. Thank you.
Thank you. Would like to invite the judges to ask questions. Who would like to start first?
Me.
Monzi, very excited.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much, Styleable. Well, I mean, fashion. Who doesn't like fashion, right? Especially for females. Thanks so much for your presentation. I thought I heard you say that you are a B2B type of company, right? Or you're aspiring to be a B2B. But from what I saw, it seemed more like a B2C kind of proposal. So I'm a little confused there. And which one is your main target? And also, if you are really a B2B, what are your plans to reach out to through the B2B segment? Thanks.
Thank you so much for your question. We are doing B2B from the start of the operation of our business, and our software we plan to integrate our software in the websites of fashion retail shops. So when users go to their websites to purchase clothes, they can use our software from there. And we are charging our pricing method is only to the retailers, not the consumers themselves. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Next question.
So I have a question. So I understand that your first target market, right, is for hijab brands. So I'm just wondering, why hijab brands in particular? Is it that they have a high return rate, via online shopping? Yeah, because I'm just trying to imagine, like, why hijab brands as compared to other perhaps typical clothes which would be returned perhaps more frequently over online shopping?
Thank you for your question. So the reason why we started off targeting hijab brands is because they are mainly focusing on the upper chin body. So we will be working with Wise AI, which Wise AI is specialized in body facial recognition and also facial analysis. So it's more to upper chin. So we will start off by hijab brands. So it will be easier to develop the technology first and easier to promote it, as Malaysia have a big market for it. Then after that, we only start developing until the lower chin, the lower part of the body. Yeah, that is our main reason. Thank you.
Okay, so it's not
also sorry to interrupt.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. And also to add on to what Enchi said, hijab is also a niche market in Malaysia. So we think that targeting a niche market is easier for us to earn our first bucket of money, and hence it's easier for us to continue our plans in the future.
Okay. So nothing to do with the fact that there's a higher return rate for hijabs or anything of that sort.
We're also targeting hijab brands because the margin for hijab is very high, as hijab is technically just a piece of cloth, and then they can sell it for prices as high as 800 ringgit. So we see an opportunity in that market. Hence, that's why we target the hijab market in the first year.
Okay, thanks.
But do you really need, do you really need measurements for hijab?
Thank you for your question.
Yeah,
Okay.
pardon my ignorance.
So at first, we do not need that super accurate. So we just need Wise AI to help us with the the facial landmarks features. So we'll detect where their face landmarks are, and our software will automatically portray the hijabs on their head. So the body measurements feature is more towards the clothing that we are going to bring in later on. Yeah, thank you.
Lee Kian has a question.
Yeah, I got a question. So you're saying you're working with this AI company. So would that solution be a kind of off-the-shelf type from them, or there'll be some sort of development required?
Thank you for your question. So we will be collaborating with Wise AI, and we plan to engage their service and ask them for their body landmarks and facial analysis technology, and we'll repackage it and develop our own software. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so the base AI technology will come from them, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you make sure that they I mean, since you're buying, I mean, that's the base engine, wouldn't then they be able to also use that and, I suppose, develop other similar apps?
Thank you for your question again. So why, can I rephrase it that why you are asking why Wise AI want to work with us instead of developing this whole software by themselves?
Yep, you can rephrase it.
Okay, thank you. So this is because Wise AI is a technology company focusing on AI only. So they will not, they are not focusing on the fashion industry. So based on fashion industry, we are a more knowledgeable, and will help them market and penetrate this fashion industry, fashion line. So they won't suddenly, I'm sure that they won't suddenly plan to go into the fashion line. And for example, if they are working for ID, facial recognition ID stuff, so they are selling these to the police, for example, they will not want to become the police themselves. So that's why we think it's better for them to work with us, and they would not develop the whole software themselves. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
So my question is, if you could appoint anyone in the world to be the company's brand ambassador, so you know what a brand ambassador is, right? Someone who embodies the corporate identity in appearance, values, and ethics. Who would that be, and why?
Thank you for your question. So you're asking who will we choose to portray the whole brand? So, okay, wait a second. So in the starting point, we will be finding Noor Fazura, because she is in the hijabs brand for a long time, and the brand she sells is quite cheap in price compared to others. The second one, sorry for the technical issue. Okay. Maggie, can you help me to share the screen? Meanwhile, I'll continue with my answer. So the other second one, after we went into the clothing line, we plan to find Christina Kwan, who is a Malaysian top social influencer. to be our brand ambassador, because her target market is very her target, what do we call it? Her target market is very wide, and those of her followers are more suitable with our target audience. Yeah, thank you. I hope that answers your question.
We have 2 more minutes.
Yeah, maybe just if I can add on, like, what is the pricing for brand ambassadors? Is it on a commission basis? You know, or because you could end up, because you're getting influencers like Christina Kwan, your charges could be very, very high, which could also eat into your margins. So what is the pricing margin in your mind for appointing ambassadors?
Thank you so much for your question. At this point, we are thinking of using Instagram as our main marketing tool. So we actually did some research on the pricing for influencers for one Instagram story. So for one 15-second Instagram story, it will cost around 500 ringgit. So assuming that we are collaborating with them for them to post a story per month, then it would be around 6,000 per year. So, and this is talking about a relatively popular influencer with posts every month. Okay, so considering that our budget for influencers is around 15,000, so we can afford to work with 3 to 5 influencers. So that is our plan for pricing for the influencers. Yeah, that's our budget.
Bonnie, you have a last question?
Oh, thank you. So I am just trying to get my head around the whole business model thing. I know you're selling to retailers at 0.02 per click. I'm just trying, I want to, how does that translate into your projected revenues? And also going forward as well, you know, how do you capitalize on, are you planning to capitalize on the kind of database that you are collecting and then spinning off further from there? Many a time, software that comes into the market, they seldom ride on their core thing. It's really the main value that comes in. It's later on, what more can you do with the database, and how do you sell that kind, or create value from that onwards? Could you share some of these longer term plans with me?
Thank you for your question. So we'll be starting off with this 0.02 clicks per clicks revenue stream. And after that, as our business milestones say, in the 3rd year, we'll bring in the personalization features, and we'll get a database of how to have more accurate insights about the consumers' trends. And this will be improving factor, because as based on our research, more than 71% of the users have said that they prefer customer experience is a very important feature that they look into nowadays. And after that, as also mentioned in our business milestone for the 5th year, we'll start preparing for the launch of our own brand, Stylable Exclusive. So Stylable Exclusive will be partnering with emerging fashion designers to launch our own brand, and it will be like our own platform to sell clothing and our own clothing line, Stylable. So after this, we also we can try to turn into a platform such as like Shopee, where we let other companies from Asia or anywhere to come sell clothes in our platform. So this is our direction in the future. Yeah.
Okay, that's all the time that we have for this group. Thank you very much. I will invite you back to your room. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you
very much.
So welcome back, everybody. Before we announce the results, I would like to invite our judges to share with you what they think of your presentations. I'm sure you're very eager to hear from them. All right, so maybe we can start with Miss Bonnie.
Thank you, Jack, and thank you, participants and finalists, for those wonderful presentations. You guys have wowed me. I think every time I participate in this MBC, I always get wowed by how amazing our young people are these days. I'd like to definitely commend you guys on a job well done. And this is really truly from a heart from an employer. You know, I myself would be interested in looking at investing in some of these things that you presented. And I think that shows how practical and how much thought you're put through in the business idea. I think you've put a lot of good deal of research into your business ideas, and also having sustainability, environmental climate change, you know, the ESG and the SDGs focus in mind, which is very important going forward when it comes to the business world, and you know what we do in our lives and how it contributes to the world and the community. And that is great. And in terms of presentation, fantastic. You know, I can see the teamwork that goes well within the team itself. Each of you take very equal responsibilities on and covering areas, and you guys jive as well very well. And the way you handle questions from the judges, very calm, very confident. So great job on that, and you spoke very well. So yeah, in terms of presentation, I am sold over there. I think I'd like to maybe give some comments on maybe areas that you can look into improving. I understand that you guys are very new in this. You've just joined, you know, the professional programs this year itself. So that is definitely very commendable in what you have managed to do. And I think going forward, as you move into your journey, when it comes to business models, perhaps having a bit more thought in terms of areas like, you know, your customer base, your suppliers, how secure they are, because these are elements as investors we would really look out for. Having a great idea is fantastic, but we also know a lot of great ideas didn't materialize because of areas like, you know, how do customers look at it? How do you get your suppliers? How do you manage your barriers of entry? So a bit more focus on some of these areas sometimes will help, because as investors, we always look at bottom line, right? And we look at long-term sustainability as well and returns. So that's my 2 cents worth. So well done for all of you.
Thank you, Miss Bonnie. And Miss Bonnie is from BDO. So we will now invite from Deloitte, Miss Tin Siu Chi.
Thanks, Jack. Well, I have to say, well, this is my first time being a judge for this competition, and I would say that I really enjoyed the session today, and I was very impressed with the passion that I see from everyone, and the amount of work and the quality of work that I see that each team has put into their presentations. I think it was very interesting. I think one group even brought actually the prototype of, you know, the product itself, and that was, you know, certainly quite interesting. I certainly wish that, you know, we had more time today as well to explore each and every one of these ideas. Every idea that I heard today was certainly, you know, very interesting, very creative, and that was what stood out for me. You know, the creativity of some of the ideas that I heard, and of course the seamless teamwork that I can see between the members in the group. And I know this is certainly not easy, given that, you know, this is through online, but you know, it was coordinated all very well, and you know, that is really impressive. So I would say, you know, everyone who took part here today, you know, you all certainly have a lot to be proud of. I understand you all are just first-year students, and you know, based on what I can see, this is, I mean, it's amazing. You know, from what you have learned and applied to put in today. So having said that, I would just like to, congratulate once again all of you who took part today, and I wish you all the best.
Okay, thank you, Suchi. Can we now invite Mr. Chua Li Kiang from EY?
Hey, yeah, sure. Hi. This is my first time actually doing the judge, being a judge here, and I'm actually quite impressed with all the ideas. I think they are very good ideas. I like that they are all very linked to what's very current now, which is around the topic around sustainability and environment. So that's great. I think the other thing I was kind of impressed is around the technical research. Every time the judges ask some questions about what do you mean by this, show me the process, how was this manufactured. I think a lot of teams were able to articulate quite clearly at least the base research was done in terms of the technical product. So that's very good. Maybe something that I would comment is around the presentation style. Yes, you all had a lot of energy. Personally, I felt that's okay, but need to differentiate between energy and passion, in the sense that do not come out sounding like you're doing a telemarketing kind of campaign, right? Maybe because this is virtual, so maybe it's kind of like trying to do the rah-rah, but try and balance being a professional but showing passion versus coming across selling as a telemarketer, right? Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. From KPMG, Ms. Monzi.
Thanks, Jack. I've been a judge for this NBC since the inception in 2016, and it never fails to amaze me, right? The level of energy, professionalism, confidence, right, that I see in young people like you. And I think some of you are probably not even 20 years old yet, right? So I always have to remind myself that, you are all still very, very young, but yet you displayed such confidence and maturity. And KPMG would definitely love to hire all of you as interns or permanent staff when you graduate. So do remember KPMG. Now, great presentations all around. I echo the other judges' feedback as well. But I think just some areas of improvement. Now, I'm not sure how your teams were selected or how you got into your groups, but I noticed there wasn't a lot of diversity, in terms of whether it be gender or race, right? So, and I think, as you are aware, diversity actually brings out the best in all of us, and that really gives you different perspectives as well to the table. So do think about injecting some level of diversity in your future groups. I think that would definitely add lots more value. And the other area is I'm quite anal in this. I mean, some of the presentation slides, I saw some spelling errors. And, as a professional going forward, when you present to your clients in future, be very anal about checking for spelling mistakes. I mean, it doesn't show that, we are detailed enough, right? So you do go through a very thorough check, and I'm now with the computer you can always just do a spell check, although having said that, sometimes spell check also may result in the wrong words. But all in all, well done. I'm sure this is a great experience, and no matter what happens at the end, whether you win or lose, I think you're all winners already in your own place. So take this experience with you. It's definitely well worth it, and all the best to all of you in future. Thank you.
And we have also Mr. Teo joining us. All right, so he just came in. Perhaps now we would like to invite Mr. Desmond from PwC.
Thanks, Jack. So, so first and foremost, Jack and to the team, thanks for inviting PwC and thanks for inviting me. I didn't know what to expect coming on board this morning at 9 for the briefing, but what I can say, it's a beautiful start to a great weekend. I really enjoyed myself with the students today. My apologies if I posed some difficult questions, but that's what life is all about, right? It's not always smooth sailing, it's up and down. And when you come out to the real world, you'll find that you'll have bosses, you have clients, not even as nice as me. Yeah. So this is part of your growing up process. One takeaway is, if I find it very difficult to vision that the people that have presented in front of us were just year one students. Very impressive, lots of energy. What I like about it is the business ideas, the innovation, like some of the judges have said, addresses current issues, ESG issues, it addresses social media issues. And I'm also very impressed with the breadth and depth of the research done. Because I thought it was only the slide deck that we are looking at, but when I see the appendixes, my goodness, it's as thick as a phone directory. I don't think you guys know what a phone directory is. The judges, maybe even Jack, we know what a phone directory is and we know how thick it is. So very impressed with that. Another thing that I was impressed with, it's how well we have adapted, right? Being able, the teams being able to work seamlessly, although I don't think you had the opportunity to meet up face to face to come up with this presentation. I think most of it was done online, but when it came out, the slides, the presentation really looked very seamless. So for areas of improvement, I always go back to the pricing. Some of the teams I did ask about the pricing methodology, the markups you want to apply must always have a reference point back to what the industry can accept, what your competitors' markups are, and final point, when you are starting up, don't be greedy. When you start up, you want to go for market share, not for huge profits. You can fill your pockets later on down the road when your brand is more matured and your product is more acceptable to the market. So in closing, I look forward to you joining the workforce. I look forward to learning from you. I wish all of you the very best. And in my eyes, all of you are already winners. Congratulations again.
Good, thank you. Very invaluable feedback. So we would like to now invite Dr. Melissa Fu from Sunway iLabs Ventures.
Yes, hello everyone. And definitely agree with all the comments from the previous judges. I think, first of all, really congratulations to all the finalists. It's actually quite a nerve-wracking experience to put yourself up there and, be judged and have people really question and poke into, your business plans and everything. So I understand the nervousness that you feel. I see it a lot when I hear startup pitches. So I want you to know that, you did a really great job, a fantastic job, and you all deserve a pat on your back and a nice weekend ahead. Consider this one of the toughest roads in your journey by putting yourself up to be questioned and assessed, right? And in live as well. So yeah, I think one thing that I've noticed and I really could not highlight more is the level of innovation in your ideas. I've just come off judging like more than 100 over pitch decks for the iLabs Super Accelerator. So you can trust me when I say that, the 5 ideas that we had presented today is definitely, up there in terms of, very unique and very innovative and really to the point in terms of research and everything, right? Even compared to some of the mature startups that I received pitches from in the last 1 month. So super impressed with that. I think we've emphasized this as well about the sustainable goals and impact, right? But I also want to highlight why we are talking about impact and sustainability is because we want to know about problems. Actually, the important thing that you need to solve actually in a startup is a problem that is a real world problem that is faced by everyone, right? And we all know that environment and sustainability are huge problems, right? With very complex solutions. So I think that's why we emphasize it. It's not really impact just for the sake of saying rah-rah SDG, right? But it's because these are actually real world and very big and complex problems. So I really commend you all for tackling, these problems and really trying to make a difference to the problems that are not just local or, within Malaysia or problems faced by students, but problems faced by the community all the world, right? Like globally. Yeah, and so finally, I think, you know, in terms of, you know, your teamwork, your presentation, I love the energy. I like that camaraderie between yourself and your team. I hope that this will be the start of a very good journey with your and bonding with your teammates. You know, some of the best experiences that you'll have and the best things that you will learn is how to work with others actually. So one of the key points about founding a startup actually is not that it's a single or a solo person endeavor. You really need to learn how to balance, trust, and respect and work with your teammates. So I saw so much of that today and I'm really happy to see that. So, I mean, to wrap it up, I think I would be more than happy to see some of the teams or all of the teams in the iLabs Accelerator one day. So keep it up and look forward to see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much, judges. Can we have one more quick screenshot of everybody, you know, after the presentation? You get to give your best smiles, right? So we can do a quick picture of everybody, all right? And we have Mr. Teo here with us to witness the whole process. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Everybody look to the screen and smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. So now, the moment that you all have been waiting for. Okay, so just give me a second. Okay, so on behalf of our team and students, we would like to thank you to all the judges, right, for your invaluable input. So with this, I'm going to now, okay, announce the results. So we will first announce the finalists that are not in the first, second, and third placings. All right. So the two teams will each receive 1,000 ringgit. Okay. So thank you, Mr. Teo, for that. All right. And we believe that, you know, if you are already in here, you are the winners, so you deserve a prize. So with that, the two teams that are the finalists are Team Snooze and Stylable. Okay. So, and with that, I would like to now announce the second runner-up, who is getting a total of 4,000 ringgit cash, is Team Eco Yarn. Congratulations. So now we have only Project Riptide and Live With Us, okay, to grab the first two spots. So for the first runner-up, who will receive a cash prize of 6,000 ringgit, is, drum roll, who will it be? Project Riptide. Congratulations. And that means for the champion of the MBC 2022 competition, receiving a cash prize of 8,000 is Live With Us. Congratulations. Well done, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Mr. Teo, you would like to say anything before we leave? Mr. Teo?
No, I think obviously it's you know, already announced the winner. Yeah. So as I said, I think from the beginning, you know, I think they are all winners. And I think judging from you know, the comment, the last two comments from Desmond and also from Dr. Melissa, obviously you know, the 5 teams have done a very good job. Yeah. And I think, as I say, this is the beginning, and I hope that they will able to then, you know, the next 3 to 5 years, you know, they were able to build up, yeah, and to also enhance a lot more in terms of all the skill set needed for them to then, you know, once they graduate, yeah, they will be like, you know, able to join the workforce, yeah. And I think the most important thing, again, you know, is like all the judges, yeah. Basically, you spent a lot of time, yeah, this morning with us, and I'm sure that everyone, you know, including all the 5 teams, they really appreciate, yeah, your feedback and comment. And also to the firms who are with us, yeah, this morning, I'd like to thank you, everyone, again, yeah. And congratulations to the winner. The Live With Us is it, yeah. So well done, and you all truly deserve it, yeah. So
yep.
Thank you. Yeah.
And that concludes our 9th MBC competition. And thank you, judges, and thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Can the students please stay back for a while? I need to give you some comments or some administrative matters. Okay, thank you, Mr. Teo. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can the
Thanks,
students stay
Amir.
back?
Thanks, Jack.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Congrats
you.
to
Bye-bye.
all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. Yeah.
Thank you, Desmond. Thank you, Suchi.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, Melissa. Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Melissa, and also to Monzi. Yeah.
Yeah, great work, students.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you.